Because usually I'm a soccer player. Usually I'm play in Spain. In Spain I have a lot of friends. Yeah, and then I trust Spain sports is best. Yeah, I know Sanchez Casares' system is the best in the world. Yeah. Uh,
I first started in Nanjing, so there's ASC Academy there, and I tested out, and I think it's pretty good. So, me and my family decided to come here to try a little bit. But when I first came here, the first two tournaments wasn't really good. It was Eddie here and Orange Bowl. I lost first and second round in those, but I kept trying this academy and trying. I got pretty great results the next year. I first won the Eddie Hurt 12s, and me and my family was like, oh, it's actually pretty good, so we decided to keep staying here, and it's really nice. Tournaments a lot, but the most important ones are the ITFs, I think, the grade 4s. I had one title in Beijing and one in Aruba. They were really important. Of course I want to be a professional tennis player, but for everyone that's really hard, but I'll try my best to work for it. And obviously there's a lot of good coaches, so I really liked it. So when I came here, it was the most important part. And obviously I'm not used to the weather like most of the kids are, so the first week was a disaster, and I also played a really bad tournament here, but I just tried to keep going, and all the coaches were helping me. Victor, he was pushing me all the time, so I guess that's how I do it every day. Victor he's my coach, and he actually helped me a lot. He's always trying on court and helping me. And for Emilio, you can see him on court every day working so hard as a coach and a parent. So yeah.
My wife pregnant in Spain. Yeah, because I play the soccer in Spain. My wife is pregnant. Yeah, she's is boy.
Mm-hmm.
He play tennis. Yeah, we love tennis. Yeah, I think tennis is the best sport in the world. Yeah, I chose Jerry play tennis.
Yeah, I improved in 4, all of them, but most importantly, I think is mental. Yeah. Important, because first you gotta when you're tired, you gotta convince yourself to be on court. Since Florida is really hot, I'm always really tired outside on court and also in fitness. So mental helps me to I think to convince myself to be on court and work hard for it. It's sacrifice, because when you play, you have to enjoy it. First, when I came here, I didn't speak much English, but I understand something. And they didn't make fun of me, but we had so many jokes about how we talk to each other. We don't even need to speak, and we just know what's happening.
Before the international tournaments here in Florida for his age, and that's when we start working. Is that you are always not measuring his improvements according to his talent, but more of his hard work and how he every day approaches the practice, how he every day is pushing, how every day he's behaving, his attitude. his approach to the little details, like he's taking care of every single part of the practice, his preparation to the practice, how he recovers, how he behaves after he finishes practice. So he's always measuring his process or his formation according to that, and not so much on the results, because sometimes in the junior age, in the junior years, when he's playing, most of the results come together with talent sometimes. But once the body develops, and once the mind develops, and once all the players get a little more even, what makes the difference is how well you were used to practice, how well you were used to push every day, and that gives you the base used to continue in the more advanced level. So that's probably the biggest challenge, to make him understand and to convince him that that's how he's gonna evaluate how well he's doing, and that's my job. He was working in Nanjing for some time with Daniel Sorriba, so he came here with a base of our academy. He already have our way of moving, our footwork, our idea of how to use the court, how to divide the court in many areas. What we have been working and what he has been improving a lot is his transition game, to trying to be more aggressive, trying to have a good transition to the second area of the court, to have a more clear pattern on how to play, using his strengths more, and improving his serve, improving his last shots, his volleys. So he has become more of a complete player. Like in the beginning, he was very comfortable in the baseline, rallying and hitting aggressive from there. But little by little, he has been learning to use the court better. He's adapting better to the hard courts, to the clay courts, so he's more of a complete player now, and he's in the process of that. So he's learning how to add more tools. So, because the idea is to give him as many tools as possible, so that he becomes a very complete player that knows how to solve different situations on the court. Jerry's game is very special, how explosive he is at times, like how fast he can change the speed from one ball to the other, and how accurate he can be when he's on the run. So some of these shots that you feel like he's trapped in a corner, and all of a sudden he comes with an answer. And also his way of using his forehand in different ways, and the inside out, the inside in, high balls with the spin, with flat, and that makes him special with his game. But I think more than his game and his shots, what makes him really special is how good of a person he is out of the tennis courts, and how respectful he is with coaches, with people around him, with friends. He's just a nice kid, nice person, and I hope that that's something that is always what makes him more special. More than his game is being a good person and a role model for everybody, and that's something that I'm very proud of him, and that I hope, like, as his game continues improving, he keeps that and he doesn't change that. On the court, he can be the greatest competitor and he can just try to destroy everybody, but once the match is over, he is a good guy that is very, very good heart person.
Well, Jerry's story is a very, let's say, traditional in our format. He's from China. He was practicing there in Beijing, and he went to do some weeks at the Nanjing Center in China that we have, and then he liked the coaches there, and then the coaches told him that there was gonna be more level in here in the USA, and they had the possibility to come and try it, and now he's been 2 years with us in ASC Florida, and it has been a great ride, I think, for him and for us. Jerry is one of those kids that has this special talent to be able to make a difference. So almost everybody who sees him play, they say, wow, because every ball he touches is very safe, because he passes the ball pretty high from the net at very high speed, but as well with very good direction. So he's one of those players that everybody wants. He's have offers from the companies, from other academies to go with them, because he's like a super talent, and he's very young. He's 14 years old, and he's done incredible results. He's a world champion. He's a national champion here in the USA. He's won the Eddie Hare. So he's one of those kids that looks like the future big champions, and still a long way to go, because he's only 14 and has a lot of years to move along, but he's one of those kids that can make big changes from one day to the other and go up so fast. He's already playing in ITFs, he's winning some ITFs, he's also playing sometimes some matches with the pros, and he's all the time competitive with everybody, and that is a huge gift that he has, that he is capable of improving on the maturity and the mental pillar. It's gonna be a great ride for him. Well, Jerry has an amazing fundamentals on his game. So he has everything that is higher than the standards. So that means that everybody thinks that he has an incredible potential. But at the end, the potential is just a word. It's something that you can achieve. That's why I don't like to use the word potential, because nothing happened yet. Okay, he's the best on his age, 14 in the world, but the pathway towards being the best of all the players is so long, and he's put up so much work that I don't want that he thinks that the potential is gonna make the work. The potential don't make the work. The potential gives you the possibilities to do something continuously. And if you put together the potential in the technical, that he is amazing, the potential on the tactical, that he orders the technique very well, the physical, he has a excellent athlete body, so he can develop more the endurance, the aerobical, the anaerobical, the speed, the strength. He can improve so much, and all that will depend on the mental. If he don't canalize all those energies with the mental pillar, with the passion, with the intensity, with the quality, and then the potential will not happen. So that's why it's so important to work continuously in every one of the pieces that we just mentioned, to be able to use that potential to arrive where he wants to arrive, that he looks like one of those kids that can make it and really make a difference, but it's still a long way to go. He has this incredible mindset where he understands that as we mentioned before, the mental pillar, he really comes easy for him to put up the loads of work that he has, so that when you do it continuously, that's the discipline. The sacrifice, he mentioned that there is no sacrifice, which is true. So if you have a passion for something, it's much easier to go out there and put the effort. And the effort, when the effort becomes a huge sacrifice, sometimes it can be on the positive side, sometimes can go and be a load of pressure. So in my opinion, that he enjoys so much the hard work, and he enjoys to be on the court, and he takes at his age these loads of work with a good spirit, is an amazing gift as well. So there is many of the kids that they don't think that is worth it. They don't think that they have to do it because they're very gifted. So if we put together every practice that he does, like let's say he hits 200 balls, if those 200 balls he hits them with passion and to be able to do what he don't do so well, and then he's gonna take advantage from those 200 balls. If you compare it to a kid that from the 200 balls hits 70 good, every day 200 against 70, 270, 270. So the gap becomes bigger and bigger. That's why he can play at much higher level and be competitive as well, because he has this drive and this passion. He has always in the practice this gift where he has always almost this half a smile on the face even when they are pounding him. No? So I think that's special, and for us is an amazing opportunity to be able to work when everybody else wants to work with him, and he's with Sanchez Casal and he's here for 2 years, and for us is every year that he stays longer is a big present for us, because he's one of those players that makes a difference to work with him. So we at Sanchez Casal, we always look directly to the player, but the player is a little person. So it's a little person that needs to be a competitor as well, and that development of a person for us is key. How we develop that with the values, and we try to go and we try to print the same that we print the forehand. We try to print as well the values for the player, that they will be helping him in the difficult moments, in adversity, that he becomes resilient, that he puts the effort, that he puts the passion. And for us it becomes easier when you have a player that has this passion and has this drive and accepts better the values, like Jerry, that is a good kid, and he takes care of the other ones, and he invites them to the matches and he gives them clothing. So he's a really good kid, and so for us to work on values and to work on the person is easier when we have the backup from a family. So the essence of the player comes from the family, because they've been with the parents for 10, 15 years, and suddenly they come to a structure like ours where we start to put some values that, if they have done those values, that they are the basic values for a sport. Like Jerry, his father is a soccer player, his mother was also a professional player in ping pong. So all the values from the sport people are very similar. Well, they all have gone through a process of hard work and effort and discipline and toughness and mental toughness and especially being consistent on what they do as players, but also as people. So when you have a player that has those things already written by the family, for us it's much easier, and they flow much more in the student to create that special competitive state, because they already almost have it intrinsic on their ADN. So for us it's also easier compared to a player that they always being, let's say, at home, and they being spoiled and so on. They never had limits. So when we want to start to put limits or motivation towards sacrifice and hard work and discipline, becomes much tougher to convince them, because they don't have that written on themselves. So that's a thing that Jerry has, and that he can take full advantage, and he has a lot of support, because you can see on the court that his father is there and he's helping, but he's there, but he always never participates so much. He's like an anchor of support, and that's very, very, very helpful. He let us do the work and go in and go deeply on the things that we believe are better for his game, and he supports us, and that's a win-win situation when you have the full support of the parent that gave those intrinsic values, and then makes the work much easier. So Jerry is a leader. So he's a kid that with his aura and his way of being on the court, for sure inspire others. When he plays matches around, the other kids come to see him, because they all want to be like him. And even in the tournaments, and sometimes people coming here to practice, because he's here, because he's an example and he's a mirror. So for us it's great that he has all this strength to be able to bring people in, and for us, for the academy, is like a great mirror. We put him as many times as example, and it makes a difference in others to become better, or to become the best version of themselves that they can become. for us is great, you know, because he has this special way of doing things that also for us is a big challenge, because also we as coaches we need also to perform in the same level as him, and it's great to have him here, and we hope that he takes all those people that want him and stays with us, because we can also give him what he expects for his development, and he stays a long time with us here in Naples.